Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something called the one candle setup. It's a trading strategy that's all about one thing: simplifying your path to becoming a consistent trader. All right, so here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with the reality of profitability, then hit the two big mistakes traders make. After that, I'll introduce you to the one candle setup. We'll break it down step by step, see it in action, and wrap up with what it all means for you. All right, let's kick things off by looking at a number. A number that, honestly, probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of traders out there. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. That's how long it typically takes for a day trader to actually become consistently profitable. And look, that's not because people aren't working hard, right? It's an absolute grind. But here's the question. What if that long, painful road isn't the only way? What if there was a shortcut? And I don't mean cheating the system. I mean a way to just avoid the two biggest traps that keep traders stuck, spinning their wheels for years on end. So let's talk about what those traps actually are. The source material we're looking at really zeroes in on two major psychological hurdles that honestly trip up almost every single trader at some point. Okay, so mystique number one, trading based on fear. You know exactly what this feels like, right? You have a few bad trades, and suddenly you're carrying all that baggage into the next one. You stop following your plan and start just trying not to lose. And the crazy part is that fear of losing often makes you lose even more. And the second mistake, it's what I call drowning in education. You think that more information is the key. So you collect all these different theories, all these indicators, but you never actually build a simple, repeatable system you can execute. You become a librarian of trading knowledge, but you can't actually trade. This brings to mind that classic Bruce Lee quote. He wasn't afraid of the person who practiced 10,000 kicks once. He was afraid of the one who practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's the whole point, right? You don't need a million strategies. You just need to master one. And that idea of mastering one thing brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, a strategy that is built from the ground up on that exact principle: simplicity. So I want you to think about this strategy like you're building furniture from IKEA. Seriously, it's not some high-level complex theory. It's just an instruction manual. Your only job is to follow the steps one by one and not try to get creative or let your feelings get in the way. So what are those instructions? Let's get into it. We're going to break down the 4 simple mechanical steps of the one candle setup. Okay, here we go. The 4 steps. Super straightforward. Step 1, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, you look at that first 5-minute candle. You just mark the high and the low. That's it. That's your range. Step 2, you flip over to the 1-minute chart and you just wait. You're waiting for a candle to close outside that range you just marked. Step 3, once it breaks out, you're looking for a very specific signal, something called a fair value gap. And finally, step 4, you execute. You get in the trade and you already know your stop loss and your target before you even click the button. That's the whole process right there. All right, let's talk about that signal, the fair value gap, or FVG. So what is it? It's the specific 3-candle pattern, but it's not just a random shape on a chart. Think of it as a footprint, a big one. It shows you where there was a really strong, impulsive price move, usually from the big players, the institutions. So when you see one of these form right after the breakout, that's your big clue. It's telling you the market is likely about to really move in that direction. And this is the part that really ties it all together and takes the emotion out of it. The execution is 100% mechanical. Your entry, it happens on the close of that 3rd candle that confirms the FVG. Your stop loss, you place it just above or below the FVG candle itself. And your target, it's always a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward. No thinking, no guessing, no how am I feeling today? You just follow the rules, period. Okay, so theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks like in practice. We're going to look at a real trade example from the source material on the NASDAQ. Okay, so check this out. Price breaks below that 5-minute range we talked about. And then, boom, a perfect fair value gap forms. That is the signal. That's the green light. The instructions are crystal clear. You enter a short trade right there. And what happens next? Well, in just 4 minutes, the trade hits its 2-to-1 profit target. That's a $1,700 profit on this one trade. And it didn't come from a gut feeling, it came from just following the simple, mechanical process. And hey, this wasn't just a lucky one-off. The source shows another example, but this time, going in the other direction, a long trade. But guess what? The rules are exactly the same. Price breaks above the range, a fair value gap forms, you execute the trade. And this time, it resulted in a $1,900 profit. It just proves that the process is repeatable. So, what's the big picture here? What's the major takeaway? It's that you now have a simple, complete strategy. You have the instruction manual. Look, the bottom line is this. Your goal isn't to never have a losing trade. That's impossible. Your goal is to execute a solid process, consistently. Success comes from mastering this one simple setup, not from collecting 100 complex ones. This whole model is designed to give you a mechanical process so you can take emotion out of the equation. Because at the end of the day, consistency over time is what matters, not the outcome of any single trade.
So there you have it. The source material lays out the entire process for you. It's like the instruction booklet is sitting right in front of you. The only question left is, do you have the discipline to actually pick up the tools and build it? And that's our explainer for today.